Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at a 2008 MacBook Pro. 2008 was the first year of the unibody MacBook Pro, and this thing has aged surprisingly well. This laptop pretty much ceased production about, I think, a year and a half or 2 years ago. You can still buy it on the Apple website. This design, it was a bit skinnier, but if I open this up and you just cover the MacBook Pro logo, which they removed, this is pretty much how they still looked. This design was very revolutionary at the time, and it was very premium, and it feels very premium because all of this is solid aluminum. So if we have around the side, see all of this is aluminum. Also, this gives us a good look at the ports. So on the side here, we have a battery indicator. If I can focus in. And so you press that if you want to know the battery life of your MacBook without turning it on, which was actually very useful, and I kind of wish that new MacBook still had this because it's very good. Over here we've got an expansion port, and in here we have a 2-in-1 SD card slot adapter. If we just have a look, as you can see, that's what it looks like without it in. And basically this allows me to put in a SD card from my DSLR into my MacBook, which even the for now, it's a bit hard to put in, which is something you can't do on the new MacBook because you need an adapter. Over here we've got something that Apple loves to remove recently, the headphone jack. We've got a DVI port, we've got two USBs, standard 2.0, this is way before 3.0, and yeah, we've got a FireWire and an Internet port. That's right, you've got an Internet port, so if your Wi-Fi isn't particularly great, you've got Internet. That's fantastic, right? And then on this side, yeah, we've got a DVD drive. This is something that was removed now because DVDs are said to be going out, but it is nice to have because you can get some older software and stuff. And yeah, it's just, I don't really use it all that often, but it's nice that's there. Of course, we've got the legendary missed already accessory of the, well, not really accessory, but feature of the MacBook, which is the MagSafe, which is a magnetic cable that basically, if someone tugs at it, it doesn't pull at your laptop and destroy it because it's magnetic. And also means that if you're trying to connect it and you're not really looking, it's super easy. So let's open up the MacBook and let's turn it on. Gonna hear the classic Apple chime. There we go. Right, so let's talk price. This MacBook cost me €180, and you get a surprising amount of performance. This machine's fully upgraded. It has 8GB of RAM and SSD. The SSD isn't the greatest, so it's not that fast, but you know what? It's pretty fast for the price. It's faster than Windows laptops, and you've got the macOS experience, and you can install Windows, which is something I haven't done yet, but I'm planning to do in the future. You've got a backlit keyboard. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, you've got a fully backlit keyboard, and this keyboard is amazing to type on. It's super responsive. The key travel is perfect, and it's really well backlit. So now there's two users on here. I'm pretty much have filled with stuff on this one. So we're gonna go to guest user because it's gonna show performance of what it would be like if you set it up from scratch. I have a lot of things and stuff slowing it down on my user, so let's just load that on. Only takes a second. And here we go. This is something that would look very familiar to you if you know Apple products, especially Macs. It's been looking like this for a while. I'm actually running a bit of an older software, not because this computer can't go up. It can go up a little bit. Link to El Capitan. Just gonna exit this because it's trying to open. Okay. So if you go to about this Mac, as you can see, you're gonna see the year, which is 2008. It has a 2.4 GHz Intel Core 2 Duo, 8GB of RAM, built-in graphics, which is something that a lot of MacBooks didn't have. Its 15-inch model was one of the laptops that did have built-in graphics. Nothing to the level of today's MacBook, of course, but it's there. And over here, if we go to storage, we're going to see a 128 gigabyte solid state drive. As you can see, a lot of it is filled up. So again, if we look at the software, we're running Yosemite. It goes up to El Capitan and support ends there. However, on OS X Yosemite, everything is fully supported and everything works. I'm using a lot of things which I'll be showing later in the video. I use iMovie on this computer. I actually edit my YouTube videos on this computer and it's perfectly fine. It doesn't struggle because it's so well optimized that you don't really need all the performance that Apple's trying to sell you. iMessage still connects to my iPhone just like normal. So it doesn't feel like I'm giving up anything. There's a lovely multi-touch trackpad with gestures such as pulling in 2 fingers for the notification center. And there's others too, like 4 fingers for going in between. I'll show you that in a minute. So why don't we open Safari? So you can, this is kind of what you would be looking at. And let's make it full screen. So yeah, this is pretty familiar if you've ever used a MacBook. You know, you can just type in, for example, YouTube, and it takes a few seconds, and there it is. That wasn't very slow, was it? And then you've got 2-finger scrolling. Is it reversed on this computer? Okay, it's reversed from my usual setup, but there you go. You've got 2-finger scrolling. You can see it's perfectly smooth and fine. And if we click into a YouTube video, I'll give you a small demonstration of this.
Happy you came on the show.
I know, this is so weird.
Yeah. I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, I think the last...
And then you can just press back to go back. As you can see, that is not slow. This computer is not slow, which is something that you just don't expect this computer to be fast for being 10 years old. 10 years. And it's still fairly up to date. Every single app is up to date, and it can still run the newest version of Windows, I'm pretty sure. And I prefer Windows 7 anyways, but I think it can run Windows 10. And so you've got, for example, 4 fingers, and you can go between windows just like that. So if you have a lot of windows open, you can do that. You've got Spotify search, Spotlight search, excuse me. You've got photos, which is the Apple version. When you plug in your iPhone, it automatically stores all your photos and stuff and shows you your new imports and the photos that already exist. FaceTime, iBooks, the App Store. The App Store still works fully like you'd expect, and even has versions of Mac OS if you want to ever update. And again, you can just scroll through and have a look of what you want. iMovie is something that I have on my other account, but again, you can have a look at it and it's going to show you it, and then you can purchase it. And you see, that's smooth, right? And that's fast. And I'm sorry I'm like not doing screen record on the MacBook, but it's just, this is a more accurate representation of what the MacBook actually performs like for people who are wondering if they should give this a shot. I think the biggest concern that people have in buying these 2008 MacBooks is that they are 10 years old and that they're not fully supported. But I think that even if you have like a 2010 MacBook and you upgrade to newest software, it's not very wise, because the newer software just adds a bunch of things you don't need. There's nothing about this software that I looked and I said, wow, I wish I could upgrade to macOS High Sierra. So I'll show you the keyboard. So at the top you've got controls for brightness. Here is a button that shows you your current open tabs. I actually have no idea what this button does, but it doesn't seem to do anything on this Mac version, so maybe it's something that used to be there that they took out. You've got brightness controls for the keyboard. As you can see, that shows you how bright the keys are. Again, it's not nighttime, so it's not the best time to demonstrate this. So you've got skip, play, and previous, not in that order. And that works perfectly with Spotify as well with the volume. You've got mute, you've got the lower volume, higher volume, and then this is the button you press if you want to eject a disk. And then you've got a pretty standard keyboard. You can see perfect amount of travel, very comfortable to type on, super comfortable to type on. So if we have a look at the back, just like every single MacBook, except for the new ones actually, it lights up, which is something I liked. I liked something that makes it stand out. This is a side profile of it. And as you can see, it looks great. It's not very chunky, but it is heavy. As I said, this is all aluminum. All of this, as you can see, all of this is aluminum. It's held up really well over the years. As you can see, that looks great. It's really flat and it's got just looks great. This computer looks and works great. That's the words that I could use to describe this laptop, is that it works great. It's nice to work on. Everything's fully up to date. Now I'm gonna go into my account, which is a lot less cluttered and maybe not as smooth because I just have so many things rammed on it. But so if I'm like watching content, I'm using this guest account, but my account just has a lot of rubbish that I need to get rid of, but I don't have time at the moment. So we're gonna log in, and I'm gonna show you all the apps that I have on this computer that make it so great. Also, we should probably mention the screen that you're looking at. The screen resolution is 1400 by 900, I think. Let's have a look. I want to be correct on this, so we're just gonna have a look at displays. Yeah, 1440 by 900. Not the sharpest screen. Like if you come really closely, you can obviously see it's not Retina. But what I can say is that it looks fine. It doesn't look bad. It looks better than a lot of panels I've seen on new computers, on new Windows laptops. That is a bit shocking but the thing to remember about this computer, when you're considering buying this over, let's say, a €200 Dell or HP that you can get in the shop brand new, the thing you have to bear into consideration is that this computer did once cost a 1,000. I don't know. This one I think cost about over €2,000 with all of its things that it came with. So it was premium. When you're getting this cheap Windows laptop, it was designed to be cheap. This was designed to be as good as a computer can get. Back in 2008, back when Steve was still in power, some people considered the heydays of Apple. This is when this computer was designed. As you can probably just saw a snippet there, and the sound, that was iMessages coming in. As you can see, it's on the bottom here. There's messages. You've got photos, you've got notes, everything that you save on your notes or reminders on your phone carries over to the MacBook. It has a nice ecosystem going to it, which is impressive. Again, considering this laptop was so cheap and stuff, you really need other Apple products to appreciate this, but it shows you that you don't need the newest Apple products to be in the ecosystem, which is something that a lot of people might not know and might just assume that you need the newest one. As you can see on the bottom here, we've got Opera browser, Google Chrome, we've got Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Skype. Something that I really wanted to try out. It's great if you live in North America. You might consider this laptop even more. Is GeForce Now. How GeForce Now works, if we can find it, there it is, GeForce Now. What this is it's cloud gaming. That's it's in beta and it's for free on Mac right now. If you live in North America, it's not available in Europe. It just says that I need to join a waiting list, and I've been on the waiting list for about 4 months now, or 5 months. I've kind of lost hope. But essentially, it allows you to play, as you can see, a lot of these games on pretty much like Macs have very high settings, have very good frame rates because it's cloud gaming, and not only is it very good Wi-Fi connection, and all you do is your keyboard inputs get carried over by the internet and into the game. So it's like you're playing it on your computer. As you can see, if you press play, like Fortnite is a free game that you could probably try it out and it'll work great. But if you live in Europe, this is the message that you get. We're sorry, GeForce Now is currently at full capacity in your region. Please join our wait list to be notified when space becomes available. So at the moment I cannot test this, but I saw videos on this, including one by Austin Evans. If like gaming is something that you're into and you live in North America and you want to be able to play games on your computer and you don't necessarily have the money to spend, I think getting one of these MacBooks is the way to go. But also you've got to be careful, because a lot of people selling these MacBooks see the name MacBook Pro, you can get a MacBook Pro and Apple, and automatically try to charge you €400 for a 2009 MacBook. So a lot of people fall for it too. But so if you just keep your eyes open and find one, that's what you really want. And I just got really lucky that I managed to find one in my area. As you can see, Chrome. If we open Chrome, it's fully up to date. And you see we get our notifications on the side, and so that's great. Actually, I have to close off. I don't really use Chrome on this computer because there's also Safari, there's Opera browser. In terms of my favorite browsers, I think my favorite is Safari, followed by Opera. Google Chrome just seems to be. I just never really like Google Chrome because it always just throws off things at me, and it's pretty slow browser compared to the other ones. So Safari and Opera for the Mac, I would definitely recommend. Again, as you can see, all of the apps are up to date and all of them work. There's a list of my applications here as well. You can see. There's more as well. This is kind of the main ones. Yeah, and like, well, what can I say? It's a great laptop. Couple of downsides, I guess, to having a 10-year-old MacBook. Don't expect the battery life to be astonishing, because the original batteries wear down, of course, and then the replacement batteries, they're never as good. They only last for a bit and they kind of go really quickly. I've got two batteries, one original and one replacement, and the original holds better charge even though the replacement has only got like 90 cycles. And because this computer is quite older, it's not as power efficient, so you can eat through battery. That's okay. As you can see, I have mine plugged in, and if I want to have it plugged out for about 2 hours, I can just do that and I have it. But don't expect the battery life to be incredible. Maybe if you're considering bringing this to college and you don't have an access to plug it in or whatever, which I mean probably not, but if you're looking for something that's super portable, this is not it. And especially because of its weight, it's super heavy. Then the other downside, I guess, is that it's just it's not the newest thing. If you don't like having old computers or having the risk that your computer might break, sure, it's something you'll take on. But I've had this for about 6 months now, and I've owned a lot of these MacBooks, and they haven't once gone wrong. And actually, you'll probably get your money back on the parts. For example, this computer has a slight screening issue that's common that you also have to look out for, which is on this side. It's kind of, the glue is kind of set off, so as you can see, doesn't close fully. You can see the gap there, so you kind of push it down. And as a result, if I want a new screen, it actually costs €150, and I only paid $130 for the entire computer, so it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this is the 2015 MacBook Pro. Of course, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll reply as always. I love showing you the sides of Apple that are not as well known and not as well represented on YouTube. And if you need help picking one of these up, or have any questions, or can I do this or can I do that, please leave them in the comment section. I always reply. And anyways, I think that's it for this video. In my next video, I'm going to be comparing the MacBook Pro to an iPad Air 2 and seeing which is more productive, the iPad Air 2 with a Bluetooth keyboard or the MacBook just as it is. So again, thanks for watching and goodbye.